They're very heavy. And there's a picture behind there. That one?
Oh.
This one?
Did you bring the paper to you when you are on vacation? So you can draw?
Yes, of course.
You draw what you see.
Yeah. I always take my stuff with me. These are small ones.
Yeah. That's good. I want to do that too, but I'm too little.
No, you just need to be taught by the right person.
Yeah. Oh, cherries.
You like cherries?
Yes,
Yeah.
Oh.
Who's that?
I don't know.
Guess.
Who is that?
That's me when I was 18 years old.
Oh.
And look what else is on my wall.
Oh, I learned that too.
That's right. I haven't finished this one. I haven't finished it. It's still not finished. I've got a lot of unfinished paintings, actually. Oh, it's 8 o'clock. I mean, it's 5 o'clock. It's not 8 o'clock. All right, kids, it's time to begin. Are we ready, everyone?
Yes, teacher. Oh.
Yeah. Who's here? Let me see. Who is here? Not too many people. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 people. It's a little bit less than last time. All right, kids, let's go. We need to get our palettes out. Get your palettes out. And we need to start filling. Hang on, I need to turn off the light. All right, we need to fill our palettes with the right kind of paint. Now, everybody saw. Can everybody see what painting we're doing today? It's a waterfall. Yeah? So you need to all put your paints in your palettes. Ready? First thing we need to do is start filling our palette. Now, I've got 2 palettes, and I like to use 2 or 3 palettes because I don't want to get up in the middle of a lesson. Yep, that's a good idea. Good, Anna. Now, we need black. We need black. We need blue. So start putting in your paints, please.
Teacher, look at mine.
I can't see anything, darling. You got to take. Oh, I can barely see. Nog, Nijen, I can't see you because you've got the background. Oh, what's that? What's that? Is that your palette?
Yes, that
Honey,
is my palette.
Honey, are you Monkey? Are you? Is that? Hang on. What's your name? What's your English name? What's your English name? You have to put your English name there. I do remember you, but I.
Havy.
Havy, that's it. Thanks, Anna. Geez, you got a good memory. Bit of green. A bit of yellow. A bit of orange. Bit of red. Ooh. I don't think I need more than that. And I think we need brown as well. And of course, one more color. What's that? One more color. I'm actually going to be using white. I'm going to be using this for the first time. I've never used it before, so hopefully it's a good one. Never used this before. Really do hope it's going to be good. And if it is, I'll go back and get some more. All right. Sometimes the paints, kids, sometimes the paints are really bad quality. They're really transparent. We don't want that, darlings. We want the paint to be thick. But of course, we don't want to buy we don't want to buy paints that are too expensive either, because it's like professional quality. And we're just well, you're just kids and you're just learning. So it's kind of a little bit expensive if you go for the professional quality. So a student grade, which is not too poor a quality. All right. So what have we got? Have a good look at the colors. We've pretty much got all the colors except purple, don't we? We've got all the colors except purple. And we've got brown instead of purple. And of course, black and white. All right, kids, we're starting to. Everybody got their paints on their palettes?
No.
No. Okay, put your thumbs up. Where are you, Misso? You're in the car still. Don't tell me you're going to be painting in the car. Huh? Are you painting in the car today? I don't think so. No. No. You're going to get home soon, is that right? You're just on your way home? Yeah, cool. All right, kids, you can see the colors that we're using, and I want everybody to grab their paintbrushes, middle size, small, and large. So have a look at these paintbrushes. I've got a big one, big flat one. I've got a middle size one, and then I've got a really, really small one. We call this a small round brush. Can you see the small round
Teacher,
one? Yeah.
can you show me the palette?
Yes.
I need to see it. I didn't finish.
Okay.
How can you literally do that?
Do what? Whistle?
Yeah.
I learned when I was about 10 when I had a whistle, but I don't whistle very well.
Yeah, I am learning it and I can do, but I
Yeah.
cannot do like you.
And sometimes I do it like unconsciously, like I don't even think about it when I'm waiting for something. I'll just whistle for some reason, just to fill the void. All right, kids. Everybody got their paints in their palettes? Okay. Anna, you finished?
Yes, teacher.
All right, kids. The first thing we need to do, have a good look at this painting. I hope everybody can see the painting. Now, notice how in the background we have these two like mountains. Yeah, not two, they're four really. So two are going out that way, and then another two are going on top. You see that? So we've got two mountains in the background, and then this part of the painting up here is completely black. Can you see where the waterfall is actually coming from? So can you see how right at the top of the painting, the waterfall is coming from the very, very top, and this section here is all black. And then we go to the river or the sea. No, it can't be the sea. It can't really be the sea. If there's a waterfall, it's got to be like something like a river or something like a pond or something. So here, this is just like a little bit of earth with some grass growing on. And of course, we've got our two trees that are coming and they're like kissing in the middle. and in front of this really nice waterfall. I'll show you how to do this really nice effect here on the waterfall. And of course, these dots here for the splashing. All right, are you guys ready? Okay, so here it is. All right, first thing, I want everyone to grab a ruler, right? And I want you to figure out where we're going to put the horizon line. And that's going to be, a minute, it's going to be 11 centimeters. So I want you to grab your ruler like this, and I want you to put a dot. Where's my pencil? I don't have a gray lead, but I have a red pencil. What did I say? 12? What did I say? 12 centimeters?
You said 11.
11? Did I say 11? Hang on, let me check again. No, it's 12, sorry. So just put a nice dot here and then another dot here, 12, and then draw a line across. It's okay if you do this in pencil, in gray lead, right? Just the way, all the way across there. Now, the next thing I want you to do is I want you to grab your green, right? And right here in the middle, on one side, I want you to put like something like a curvy line, right? Right, a curvy line to one side, and then here a curvy line to the other side. Can everybody see what I just did? And don't forget, this is your line. Can everybody see the horizon line? All right, so there's one, and I want you to color in this whole section green. Do not use too much color because we have to do the trees on top. All right, so there's going to be something like a little mountain. All right, it doesn't have to be perfectly curvy because I kind of like the fact that it's not completely straight or curvy. You know, everything in nature has got some kind of like a wobble to it. Yeah, it's not completely straight. All right, so can you see how I've got on the tops here? Now I'm going to show you this again. Look, can you see how in the background here below, it's a little bit dark. So we're going to blend a little bit of black here. Okay, can you see the black background? Right, so far I've got green. Oopsie, wait a minute. Okay, so we've got a little bit of green here, and now I'm going to grab my black and I'm going to go here down the bottom and I'm going to blend the black with the green, and I'm just going to make it a little, like half of it is going to be black and half of it is going to be green. Can everybody see that? All right, so just a little bit of black blended in with the green, not too much. Just go a little bit further
Teacher,
up.
large.
What's that, Anna? I can't hear you, darling.
We use
Large paintbrush.
brush.
Good girl. Yes, large. Yep, because we're not doing too many details. That's why. Can you see this is just the background? Usually when we do the background, we don't put details. You can't really see the background with details. Can you? It's so far away. All right, so there you have it. So we've got these two kind of like mountains. Now I'm going to draw another 2 sets of mountains on each side. Now I hope you've left a little bit of space for your waterfall. So we only need like maybe about 6 centimeters wide of this space for the waterfall. Okay, it doesn't have to be 6, it can be 5 or just no less than 5. All right, so now I'm going to dip into my green again. I might need to wash my paintbrush, and I'm going to make another little mountain with green, right? I'm going to paint it green up the very, very top. Don't forget, we are not going to do the whole thing green because we got to do black. Everybody have a look at my picture, my original. Can you see how it's black down the bottom of this mountain and then it's black here in the background? You see that? So there's black in the background behind the tree. All right, so that's one. And then I've got my other one going down like this, all right? And don't forget, we're going to put a little bit of black right in the back right behind this green section here, right? So we've got black on this side, and that's going to look like one mountain, right, is going to be in front of the other mountain, right? So there you have it. Just very, very quickly, we don't want to spend too much time on this because it is the background. And you know what? People aren't going to really notice this background because we're going to have the tree in front of it, aren't we? So we don't need to spend too much time on it. So this is my other side. And again, I'm going to say that we don't want to spend too much time on these. It's not really important. You know, the backgrounds are not always that important, are they? Okay, so we've got black in the depths. And then we have, don't use too much paint. Remember, those trees have to go over the top, yeah? So now I've got my two sort of like mountains, like, okay, so what the next thing I want to do is I want to get rid of all the black on my paintbrush, right? So I've got my jar of water. I hope everybody has a jar of water. So I'm going to get rid of all the paint, and I'm going to actually mix. Oh, hang on. I need to change this water. Sorry, guys. Something wrong with this water. So, like I was saying, I want you to clean your paintbrush, and I want you to add a little bit of yellow to your green now, right? So what I'm doing, same brush, I'm going to get a little bit of yellow and a little bit of green. I'm going to make some highlights here in the background, not too many. I don't want it to be too yellow, just a little bit of a lighter green. Like I'm just going to get you to dab a few lines just to give it that interest, yeah? Just a few dabs of different color just to make it highlight a little. That's all. Now, remember what we said. When we have something in front of the background, we don't want to add too much paint because otherwise we're just going to mix all our colors and it's going to be a yucky browny mix. We don't want that. So can you see how I'm just highlighting the background color? I just don't want it to be green, perfect green out of the tube. I want you just to highlight a little. Yeah. So can you see how here I've added a little bit of yellow and green together, and I've got this sort of like just a lighter shade of green, right? And I'm just going to dab it just across there, just to give it a little bit of a highlight. That's all, right? And that's it. That's easy, right? That's real easy. All right. Just a little bit further down into the black, not too much into the black. Right. Now remember, I'm dabbing. I'm not painting here. If I wanted to paint, you would see my paint brushes, my paint strokes. You would see me sliding and gliding across the page, but I'm not. I'm just dabbing because I don't want this to look like. I just want it to look sort of vague, very vague looking. All right, so there you have it, my two little mountains. Okay, next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to create, okay, first of all, I need to get rid of the green on my paintbrush. All right, there goes the green. I won't be using green again. So nice clean paintbrush, please. Make sure that you dry it always. When you're washing your paintbrush, always dry it with a cloth, okay? We don't want that excess water on your paintbrush. It just means your paint is going to be very, very watery. All right, so next thing we need to do is we need to get a bit of blue. Now, can you see my picture? How I've got a bit of earth going across here. Can you see that? Where the tree's coming out from. Can everybody see this part of the land? We're going to do like a similar triangle across there. And then we're going to paint all of this blue, right? So I want you to dip into the blue, right? And I want you to create something that looks like the earth, you know, like a little bit of a foreground here. And then I want you to paint the rest of the sea. See this? This part is the sea. And it's just blue straight out of the tube. You don't have to do anything special. Make sure you're using your large paintbrush so we can get it onto there as soon as possible. We've got a lot of details to take care of later. So I want you to do these really easy sections. I want you to do them quickly, right? Because not only I want you to do them quickly and lightly, because again, we want them to dry before we start all the other colors. Yeah, we're going to, all the other additions, we're going to add things to the sea. To the sea. Now, what is it? Is it a lake? Is it a sea? I think it might be a lake because that's where waterfalls go. But it can't, it's got to lead somewhere. I don't think, could be a lake. Yeah, could be a lake. Actually, I know waterfalls that aren't anywhere near the sea. So here we are, nice blue, lush sea, right? Right, nice, easy. That was easy, right? That was so easy. Ah, Misso, I see you made it home. Are you okay? Are you just setting yourself up, darling? All right, good girl. So everybody should have these 4 sort of mountains and then the sea, right? Now, you ready? Now, this part, this is really cool, this part. You're going to like this part. I want you to take the same paintbrush and the same blue, and I want you to draw where the waterfall is. Now, be careful. We don't want you to go outside this line. It's going to be straight down like this. Try not to get any green. I just said try not to get any green on your paintbrush, and I just did. I'm going to add a little bit more blue to my palette because I've run out of blue. I didn't put too much blue on. Probably should have put double the blue. All right, so this is going to be my waterfall. Now I've done my sea. So keep going with your sea. And then I'm going to go in and paint my waterfall. It's going to be all blue from the very top all the way down where it meets the sea or the lake or the body of water. Make sure you get into all those white bits as well. Yeah, try to get into those white bits. Now, there's a technique we're going to use here any minute, so you need to watch very carefully. Okay, let me know when you guys are ready to move over to this section, this really cool technique we use right here, where we smudge and the water looks like it's actually dripping. It's falling down. Water falls down. See this technique? We're going to do it in a minute. So please get your get your paint on there as quickly as possible. And now we can move along to the next section. Hold up your paintings. Let me have a look at what you're doing. Yes. Beautiful. Really nice, Havy. Thanks for showing me, Havy. Is that too much shine on there? Oh, is that better? I think that's a little bit better without the too much light, right? I think this is showing up a little bit better. No, because I think that's too shiny on there. That's too shiny. It's way too shiny. I'm just going to turn it off. I've got a feeling that I might need to bring my green a little bit further in so it can touch the this section here. So I'm just going to go over my green a little bit, right? Because I don't want too much of a gap here. Just want it to be a little bit green here. Okay. All right. So now everybody's finished. Give me a thumbs up if you've done the water and the waterfall. Excellent, Havy. Some people haven't put their thumb.
The water. I don't finish the waterfall.
Okay.
The water.
Okay, darling, I'll wait for you. What's your English name, Minnie? Minnie, is that your English name? Or is it Ciro? How do you say your
You can
English?
say zero or mini.
Yes, darling. What's your English name? Do you have an English name? Because I can't read Vietnamese. Is it Minnie?
She says her name is Zero.
Ciro, of course. Okay, Ciro, thank you. Hey, Sushi, I just saw you there. How are you? I didn't see you earlier. Just saw you now. Did you come late?
I just went a bit late, so my mom was training me my clock and then but then my mom checked the timer and then we were almost 14 minutes late.
Okay, darling, that's okay.
My mom was too busy. My mom was too busy finding my clock, and I was too busy studying for my test for my final congratulations test, and then we found out that we were late.
Is this our last class?
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't
Yeah,
know
it's
either.
the last class.
It is the last class?
Today is our fifth class.
Fifth.
No.
I know it's the fifth one, but is it the last one? I don't know.
No,
Yeah.
the next day, the next Sunday is the last class, not today.
Oh, so how many classes did you sign up for? Was it 6?
Yeah.
Did you sign up to 6? Dorothy, I don't know if you can hear me, but is it 6 classes or 5?
It's 5 class and T is the 12th class.
This is the 5th one.
Teacher, but I just signed up for 5 class.
Yeah. I think it is 5, Anna. I think it is 5 classes, yeah. All right, kids. Now, the next thing I want you to do is really, really special technique. I want you to dip into your white. Can you see the white in the middle? Now, I need you to get rid of a lot of the paint on your paintbrush. Now, I would probably use a tissue, right? I would probably use a tissue. Get rid of the paint. You don't have to wash it, but just get rid of the paint or the blue on your paintbrush. And I want you to dip into the white, right? Dry paintbrush, no water, absolutely no water. And I want you to drag your paintbrush across, or should I say down the waterfall, but I want you to do it in a way that is just dragging the paint across. I don't want you to blend it. So we're not blending. Very important for you. Please understand, we are not blending. So I'm going to turn my paintbrush a little bit to the side. Can you see how you can still see the blue paint and the white paint? They're quite separate. I'm not doing anything to blend the two together. So I'm just dragging the paintbrush across. Now my paint, my page, the paper that I'm using is not the best and it's buckling a little bit. Can you see that it's buckling a little bit? So I'm just dragging some of the paint all the way down, right? Sometimes I might need to use the side of the paintbrush, right? So we're just dragging it. It doesn't matter if it's coming off a little bit off, if it's coming off the paintbrush a little bit or a lot. We just, whatever happens, just dragging it down. All right, so that's what I'm doing in order to create the waterfall effect. And so this one looks a little bit different to this one because this is paper and this is canvas, right? This is canvas. Look at this. Can you see at the back of my canvas? I'm using material. Yeah, just like you, Havy. Good. So just dragging your paintbrush down the waterfall with white. Yeah, I'm not using any blue, just white on the blue. Right? Now we don't want it to look completely white. We want a little bit of the blue to come through. Now here, I just want a little bit of white to the sides. So here, just a little bit of white to the sides. So make sure that you add a little bit of blue here to the sides. So it's coming there and then it's coming down to a V. It almost looks like a V. See that? Like that. So it's sort of, I'll show you my original paint.
Teacher, what brush?
Large paintbrush, large one. See how it's coming from the sides? And it's almost looking like a V. Yeah, that's what I'm doing here. Making it look like it's coming from the sides. All right, I think I'm done. All right, so now while we wait for this section to dry, right, what we're going to do is we're going to paint this section here, which is like the earth. You've got to wash your paintbrush first. Wash your paintbrush first. And what I want to do is I want to put a little bit of brown here on the earth. Just paint this as with very little paint, just so we can have a background color, right? Because we're going to put some yellowy, beigey sort of leaves or grass, should I say? Yeah. So this is just the background of this little mountainous, look like a hill, right? It's just a little bit of a hill, right? It's not going to be exactly, it's not going to look exactly the same as the one in my painting because it just never does, guys. It just never looks the same. All right. So there's my little hill. I'm going to add some more details a little bit later. So there's the original, right? This section here. I'm going to let that dry a little bit, okay? We're not going to come back to that till a little bit later. So I hope everybody's okay with that. Now, this is another really easy part. I want you to get just black. And where are we going to put just black? What's the only other section of our painting that needs black? What's the only thing left?
Is the sky.
Well, it's not exactly the sky. It's the edge. Yeah, it's the edge of the cliff here. See the water. Hang on. Don't think you guys can see.
It's like the rock.
Yeah, it's like the rock bed. Yeah, it's like a rock area. It's like the wall. Yeah, so this is like the rock area. So this is what I want you to do. I want you to get a little bit of brown and black, right? Get a little bit of brown and a little bit of black. So brown and black. I'm going to make this a little bit different to what we saw it earlier. So I'm going to put a little bit of brown in there. Right, just put brown everywhere. We don't care if we put too much paint here because nothing's really going to go over it. And then just like we did here, remember we did that earlier? We put a little bit of black down here. So it just looks like it's got black and brown, right? And we want this to recede into the background. That's why we're adding the black. We want it to go back, further back. Can you guys even see what I'm doing? All right, so there's a bit of black and there's a bit of brown. All right, don't go over all the brown, right? Because I want there to be just a little bit of brown in there. That's like the rock. And then I'm going to do the same on the other side. So I'm going to add a little bit of brown. Brown everywhere. The paper that I'm using is not the best. I couldn't find my other good paper. So I just used whatever I found. Okay, make sure you get nice brown color in the background. And then I'm not going to go all the way to the bottom because that part is going to be dark. It's going to be black. Okay, and that's how we have the waterfalls coming off this background. And we just need like a few dabs here and there. We don't want it to be completely like, we don't want the paint strokes to really show up. So I just dab it. That's what I do when I don't want the paint strokes to show. I don't want those details in there. So there you have it. So far we have all the backgrounds done. All the backgrounds are placed, they're put in their place, and now we're going to draw the whatever's on top, the foreground. All right, just have a look at my drawing, my painting, should I say. And we've got these trees to do, okay? These trees are going to take us a little bit of time, and then we've got these things here to do. And of course, we're going to do those dots,
Teacher,
like something like a flower. Yes.
teacher, are we going to add details so our picture would look like a tree?
Well, of course we're adding details. This is just the background that we're doing, darling. I mean, look at this painting.
Stuff like tree, and
Yeah.
fish
Can you
on
see
the
this tree? Can you see this tree?
water. I really
Right?
love it. Yeah, but fish are in the water too.
Yeah, we're going to do all this in the water, all the highlights in the water and all the splashing. You know how sometimes, have you ever seen a waterfall, all the splashing that goes on with a waterfall?
Yes, I see a
Yeah.
waterfall.
Yeah. All right. Let me know when you're done with the, which one did we do? This section, like the side of the cliff. I think I might go and get rid of my dirty water. It's really dirty. Okay, kids, are you nearly ready? Everybody done the background? It's really important that you understand when you're painting, you do the background first because the background is going to be wet, isn't it? If you do it
I
last,
finished my background. I finished
sorry?
my background. I
You've done
almost finished my background.
good. And it's really important that you understand the stages of a painting. So if you're attempting to paint something, you have to see which is the background. Let me try that. Let me paint that in first so it can dry. So then on top of it, by the time I come around to the foreground or the details on top of the background, then it will be dry. So it's really important that you start to think about the stages of painting something. When you're drawing, it doesn't really matter. But when you're using wet paint, it does matter. And we're using acrylic paints, by the way. We're not using watercolors. These are not watercolors. Watercolors is a completely different kind of painting medium, right? Watercolors is something really, I'd say, quite difficult for your age. It's quite difficult for adults as well. It's really difficult, I'd say. So watercolors and acrylic paints, and then we have oil paints. Oil paints are really expensive and they're quite dangerous for kids. You don't want to use oil paints because you have to use turpentine. And turpentine is like a poison so that you can clean your paintbrushes. I use oil paints. That's oil. Can you see that picture behind me? That's done with oil paints. And these, oh my God.
Teacher.
See these? These are all my oil paints. See, these are really expensive, these oils. And you have to use special oils with them. In fact, see this? I use walnut oil when I paint with oil paints. Walnut. You can use avocado oil too, or linseed oil. And then, of course, you have to use this really poisonous stuff. This is turpentine that you have to wash your paintbrushes with because it doesn't come off very easily, the oil paints. So we're using something quite friendly, you know, like it washes off in water and it dries fairly quickly so we can paint something on top. So I just want you to know that acrylic paint is a great medium to use when you're learning how to paint, okay? Acrylic medium paints. All right, ready? Anna looks like she's finished. So does Havy. What about you, Monkey? Are you finished too? Have you done your background? Can everybody hold up their paintings? I want to see what you've done so far. Yes, Havy. Ooh, nice. Nice, Anna. Beautiful. Okay, now with you, Ciro, I want you to drag your paintbrush down the center, right? I want you to drag it down the center, not little bits here and there. Just drag it. I want to see those lines. I want there to be lines down there. Sushi, did you show me yours and Miss? I don't think I saw yours.
Teacher, what did you say again?
Oh, Miso. Okay, hurry up, do the background. Quick. Sushi, let me see your work, darling. Let me see.
It's a bit glitchy.
Now, hang on. Why is your painting? Oh, now, Sushi, did you not see my painting is on portrait, not landscape? Did you notice that? Did you not notice that, honey? Can everybody see my picture here? Is that landscape or is it portrait?
Landscape.
No, it's not, Anna. Landscape.
Oh, it's portrait. Oh.
Yeah, a landscape would be like that, sideways, yeah? Hang on. Landscape would be like that, right? But we're doing it like that. Do you understand, Sushi? So you've got a completely different painting, which is okay. That works too. You just have to twig it a little bit. All right, kids, let's move on to the next section. All right. Now, hopefully by this stage, everyone's painting, especially this area in here, is finished. Now, I know, who was it that came home late today? Missa, I know that you just walked in and you're just trying to catch up, but yours is not going to be completely dry, which is fine. We're just going to have to do with, you know, we're going to have to make do. All right. Show me, monkey. You going to show me your work? Yes, very good. I want you to blend. Monkey, I need you to blend the green with the black. See this section here? I want you to blend it a little bit more. So get a little bit of green and just blend it in with the black, just so that there's not a big jump. There? Just so there's not a big jump between the green and the black. Just like that. Okay? Just blend it in. All right. Now, I just want to do this section here. I'm just cleaning up my background here a little bit because I won't be able to do anything with it, right? I won't be able to do anything with it once I start my trees. So I'm just trying to do some finishing touches on it. Okay, I'm ready for my trees. Now, can everybody see on my picture where the trees are coming from? Okay, the trees are coming from this side and they're leaning inwards, right? And how many big branches have I got? I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, about 5 branches. And this one is coming in from nowhere, like just from the side here. Can you see that? And it's coming all the way up. Okay, so this is what we have to do. We have to have one coming up this way out of nowhere. Now notice how these two trees are meeting somewhere in the middle. They're like kissing, aren't they? Their leaves are like touching each other.
That was so funny.
Yeah, it's funny, isn't it? Like they're kissing trees. So, and they're kissing right in the middle of the waterfall. Okay, so just watch me as I do this. Okay, I'm going to use my middle-sized paintbrush, right? I'm going to use my middle-sized paintbrush and I'm going to bring with brown, okay, I'm going to use brown. I'm going to use a brown and I'm going to bring my all the way till about this section here, right? Can everybody see? So I'm going to bring my paintbrush all the way here, all the way up. Put a bit of a brown in there, all the way up, right? Till we reach about this part, the first mountain. And now I'm going to continue it and it's just going to veer off to the left. It's going to veer off to the left, right? That's one bow or one branch. This one is going to continue up and it's going to go to the left again. But this one here is going to go to the right and it's actually going to go on top of the waterfall. See that? Now, this one here, I'm going to make go this way, right? Make sure you're using the thick side of the paintbrush, right? And this one's going to go here. Right, so that's going to be one part of the tree. And notice how it's going to meet in the middle. We're going to do all the decorations. Now, this part here of the tree, this trunk, has to be just a little bit. When I say just a little bit, I mean just a little bit. Just a little bit thicker. So I'm going to bring it down just a little bit thicker because we want the trunk to be nice and thick, right? Nice and thick. Because otherwise, how's the tree going to stand up? All right, there you go. All right, so there you have it. There's the branches, the tree leaves are going to come in later, right? Now we're going to leave that for now. We're going to go over to this other side. I'm going to show you again. Is that clear for you guys? Is that clear enough? Can you see where I have my wiggly fingers? Can you see that clearly? Is that clear enough? All right, so this is going to be the other tree. Again, I'm going to tell you that it's going to come from the side and it's just going to be hanging on the side and then just going to come into the middle of the painting. All right, so I'm going to make sure that it's going to come from this dark area. Can everybody see this dark area? And it's going to be there and then it's just going to turn. Yeah, so it's going to be a little bit curvy. So it's going to curve and then it's going to go up and it's going to go towards the waterfall. And then I'm going to go one up, right? And this section is going to go up and up. And this one here is going to come off here. Nice wiggly lines. Nothing in nature is completely straight. All right, so these are nice, as thick as your paintbrush is. Now, this is really tricky, this part, right? I'm just going to make it a little bit thicker around here. I need you to pay attention. I need you to take a little bit of brown and white, and I want you to mix it to make a nice beige color because we're going to put some highlights in the tree. Okay, now that's a nice little beige, a little bit lighter, maybe just a little bit lighter. You know what beige means, right? You know the color beige, right? Now, have a look at my highlights. Have a look at the highlights in my tree. Can you see these highlights? Where's the light coming from? You have to have a source of light. You have to be very consistent. All right. So I'm going to make sure that my highlights are going to come from, let's just say the highlight's going to come from this direction, yeah, from the left. So I'm going to put some highlights on the left side only, on one side of the tree. Now, I know the paint is quite wet and it's thick. Do not put those highlights on the other side of the tree. Okay, we don't want it on the other side. So it's just on this side of the tree, on the left side. And we are not going to do anything on the right side. Not now, anyway. Can everybody see how I'm using that beige color to create an effect here as if there were highlights coming, right? As if there were highlights going on.
Teacher, what brush?
I'm using my middle-sized paintbrush, but if your middle-sized paintbrush is too thick, then you can use your small one. In fact, you know what? I'm going to use my small one and see if it works just the same. I'll let you know. So it's all coming from this side. Remember what we said, it's going to be on the same side for both trees, right? We're going to the left. Yeah, you know what, Anna? My small paintbrush is looking pretty okay. Yeah. So I'm just doing it on one side and try and blend it a little bit. Yeah. Try and blend it in with the brown.
Teacher, I find very hard, but it is very see-through.
Show me.
See-through.
No, that's fine. But make sure that you're coming on the left side. Yes. I like it actually, Havy. As far as I can see, you're doing it just fine. All right. So I'm just making those highlights look like, you know what, guys? I think I made a mistake by telling you that you had to use your middle-sized paintbrush. I think we have to use our small paintbrush. I think that's the better one to use here. Right, so where are we putting these highlights? On the left or on the right of the tree? Nobody knows. Nobody can answer. On the left, guys. We're making sure that it's all on the left. Now, notice how I don't want there to be a completely straight line. I don't want there to be a completely straight line. So I'm just blending it in with the tree. Can everybody see what I'm doing? And I might actually go back over this one just to blend it a little bit, because I did do it with my middle-sized paintbrush, but I feel as though that middle-sized paintbrush is not creating the right effect that the small paintbrush can. All right, so just blending it a little bit towards the middle, making sure that you don't put any of the highlights on the right side of the tree. All right, it has to be on the left. I hope you all know your lefts to your rights. Do you know the difference between your left and your right? I hope so. All right. So far, oh, that looks amazing. I don't know what yours looks like. What I want you to do is I want you to make, okay, what is that called? Who knows when we add white to a color, a hue, what do we call it?
I think it's called
Color. Right
hmm,
of a
tint.
color.
Yes, yes. It's called a tint. So can you see the brown? And then I mixed the white and then I made a tint. Now I'm going to use brown, right? I have to wash my paintbrush because I don't want any white in there, right? Because otherwise that's going to be what we call a tone. But I'm going to use my brown and then I'm going to add a little bit of black to it. And what is that color called? Who knows what this color is called?
In shadow of a color.
Now, Havy, close. It's not the shadow of a color, but it's called what is it called? The shade of a color. Yeah, so this is the shade. So can everybody see this really nice dark brown? Guess what we're going to do with this color now? Take one guess. We're going to put it on the right side of the tree, yes? But I have to turn on my light because I can barely see anything, guys. And so I'm going to do it the same as what I did with the tint on one side. I'm going to do the same with this highlight. Now, I don't want you to go over the original color, the original brown. Do not go over the original brown. I really want there to be a brown color in there, right? So just on one side of the what do you call it? The branches and the trunk, right? I'm going to do the same. Make sure you know which side of your painting, or should I say the tree, is going to be your highlighted area and which is going to be your dark area. Now, kids, notice how the branches are not very big. Please do not widen them, yeah? We use the thickness of our paintbrush to draw the thickness of our branches. We do not want our branches to be completely like large, yeah? This is the detail we want in these trees. We don't want them to be completely large. So please understand, keep to the size. All right, I think I'm happy with that. I really like, the highlight area. All right, now we're going to let that dry and we are going to work on this section here. Can everybody see this section? This is going to be the part where we have grass coming out of. Now, I want you to clean your very small paintbrush, please. Very small paintbrush. And I'm going to ask you, first of all, to dip into the red and the brown. Sorry, I should be showing you my palette. In fact, I'm going to change my palettes over because this is getting a little bit full. So I've got my red and then I've got my brown. I'm going to mix those two together. A little bit more brown, right? And what I'm going to do is I'm going to do wispy bits coming up like that, right? I might need a little bit more water just to water it down a bit. I'm going to do like a few wispy bits, like just grass going here and there. I might need a bit more paint actually. So I've got a little bit of red with a little bit of brown. Right, get a nice color going, like a reddy brown. Now make sure you get some grass coming off the we call it the little mountain, I guess, little earth mountain here. Try not to pick up any of the blues. We don't want any blues in there because I just some areas here were just a little bit blue. Okay, so this is just going to be a section with a little bit of grass on it. Okay. Now I'm going to dip into my orange and I'm going to mix that in with a little bit of that color. I'm going to make it a little bit more orange, right? So this is going to be a different highlight. I'm going to add a little bit of water just to make it move on the page. And I've just got my marks going upwards. See how I'm using the stroke upwards, back and forth, back and forth. Can everybody see what I'm doing? So I've got paintbrushes going back and forth like little C's. C's going one way and the opposite way, or half moons. All right. So I'm going back and forth, back and forth. Coming a little bit into the sea, but not too much. Yeah, like the water is just wisping into the sea. It's not really going into the sea, is it? So that's just a little bit of orange. Make sure you come in over the tree. Right. Now my last color, I might have to take away some of that paint from my paintbrush because otherwise it's going to get very muddy. It's already a little bit muddy. Now I'm going to dip into my yellow and I'm going to do some highlights. I'm going to do, wherever you don't have paint, try and put some yellow wispy bits, right? Might need to keep dipping because it does get a little bit dirty with all the underpaint. So we've got 3 colors here. Well, actually, we've got 4. We've got the background, which is brown. We've got the red brown. We've got the orange brown. And now we've got the complete yellow. The yellow is going to be very, very bright. Okay, it's a few wisps coming off, sort of looking like they're coming into the lake here. Just wisping, using, okay, we are always moving from the bottom upwards, okay? You never go from up to down. You go from the bottom up. Can you see? Can everybody see what I've just done there? I'm moving from the bottom, going up, bottom, up, right? So that our wispy bits of grass can look like, it's like a blade of grass. It goes from thick to thin, right? You can't actually go from thin to thick doing this technique. It's really hard. Okay, so there's that. All right, I like that. I'm going to leave it like that now. Okay, kids, I want you to wash your paintbrushes out. All right, we have exactly half an hour left, so you need to rush. Now, I want you to dip into the red. I'm going to have another look at my painting. Right. All right, can you see here on the tree we have something that looks like, I don't know, they're not leaves exactly, are they? They're like little flowers. And they have these colors that we just used here. So we have red, orange, and yellow. Okay, we have 3 different colors here. And we're going to do some dots. Okay, we're using our very small paintbrush. All right. Now, I need you to make your dots big enough so that you can see the color, but small enough so it doesn't overpower the painting. Can everybody see my dots? So I'm going to go over the branch. I'm going to go over some of the branch, not all of it, right? Because we're going to put some other colors in there too. Try and make your dots a little bit round. They're not all going to be round. Now, notice how I want you to bend your flowery bits, I suppose, your little areas, and I want you to bend it into the waterfall. Yeah, so it's going over, overlapping. That's the word I'm looking for. So it's overlapping the waterfall. See that? And these two, remember what we said about these 2 trees, how they're kissing? So just like that, they're kind of meeting each other somewhere in the middle, somewhere in between, right? So there's that one. So we're just putting bits of red everywhere on the tree, just towards the end, on the edge, on the very edge of that branch. And we're just going to make it so it goes over the waterfall in sections. And this one here is just going to be just like that. So every one of these branches has a section, has an edge, the end of the branch, and that's where you're going to create these, I don't know, flowers, I guess. They're definitely not leaves. They could be really, really tiny leaves, I suppose. But I think they're more like flowers. Okay. Some of these are coming off the page, which is fine. And that's it. I think I've got every bit of those. They don't have to be perfectly circular. They can be wide and flat. All right, what's the next step, do you think? Who can tell me what the next step is? Nobody can tell me what the next step is?
I think it will make some like highlight or some dot in the
Hang on a
waterfall.
second, kids. Hang on. My daughter's calling me. Hang on. All right. Can you guys still hear me?
Yes.
All right.
I
What's
hear.
the next step? I'm going to dip into my orange and I'm going to do the same, but I'm not going to go over my red dots, am I? What am I going to do? I'm going to go in between. So wherever there's a red dot, you have to go to the side of it. Yeah, you don't want to overpower, or should I say, block out those really nice reds, right? So nice and orange, the same. Try and be consistent with your dots, right? Try and be consistent. Try and make them around about the same size. They don't have to be. They won't be the same size, not all of them, but around about. Okay, so just keep going with the dots. Remember what I said, go around the red part. Do not go over the red parts. We still want those red leaves or flower petals or whatever they are. We still want them to show. It's a nice, I've got a nice orange. Just came out of the bottle, of course. All right, and they don't have to be round balls, kids, right? Make them different sizes, different shapes. They don't all have to be the same, right? Don't make them round balls. We're trying to avoid the red ones. Just go over. Very small dots, kids. We don't want, do not press too hard on your paintbrush. Because if you press too hard, they won't look like dots. They'll look like rectangles or ovals. So just the tip. I must say, I'm quite liking my painting. Is anyone else liking their painting? No?
Yes, I like it, but it look kind of a little bit. Yes.
Show me, Havy.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Your drawing is nice, but I can see that your dots are a little bit big, but that's okay. Everyone has different size dots. That's all okay. Oops, I accidentally dipped into my red. All right, so there's my orange. Nearly finished with the orange. You guys nearly finished with your orange? I'm using the very tip of my paintbrush. I'm not pressing hard at all. When I'm applying the dots, I'm using very little pressure on my wrist. I'm pressing down very, very lightly. Do not want. Okay, just a few more on this side. What time is it? Oh, we have 15 minutes. Can't believe how much time flies. These paintings that we do. This goes so quickly. Okay, now I'm nearly finished. And of course, we need to do the same for our yellow. Right? Doing the yellow now. So I'm going to wash my paintbrush out. Make sure I have a very nice, clean, small paintbrush. Right? Make sure you wash it and you clean it. And I'm going to add a little bit more yellow to my palette because I feel as though there's just not enough yellow in there. All right. Okay. Now we're going to do the same with the waterfall, right? We're going to do the same with the waterfall, but with white right here in the middle, and we're going to put some highlights on the river, on the lake. Sorry, I keep calling it river today, or the sea. All right, so this is my yellow, and now I'm going to put some yellow just on the the top part, not on the bottom, right? Just on the part at the top, but I'm not going to go all the way to the bottom, right? Just the top parts. Now, I want you to go in between the others. Do not paint over the red or over the orange. And we're not going to do it everywhere. We're just going to do the top parts, okay? The section that is on top of this little ball of dots. We're not going to go everywhere like we did with the orange and the red. We're going to go in between as much as we can in between. All right. Just the top parts. Just want to highlight as if there was light coming from the top and it's just highlighting the top section. Right, not at the bottom, just the top. Okay, and we don't want, trying to avoid going over the top of the red dots and the orange dots. Okay. This one should be a little bit quicker because we aren't putting yellow dots everywhere. We're just putting it in the top section, not the bottom, just the top.
Teacher, I
Yeah.
don't really like mine.
Why? Show me.
Because it's the circle, it's not round.
Oh, you mean these parts here?
Yeah.
You can add some later. Okay? When we finish, I want you to make them a little bit flatter. Right? Like oval. So you can add some more of those dots just to change so it doesn't look like a circle.
It's not a circle.
Okay. Well, I'll let you deal with that. I don't think it's bad at all. Everybody's is going to be a little bit different. All right, I'm nearly finished.
How about the fish?
The fish, yeah, we'll get there. Don't worry, we'll get there. What time is it? Ooh, 15 minutes left. Let me just drink some water.
Are you finished?
I haven't finished yet. I'm still going with my yellows. Can't you see?
Yeah.
Just a
I
little
need
bit
to
more.
finish my lunch.
Okay, you can have your lunch. I didn't eat my lunch either today. Still sitting there beside me.
Where? What do you eat at lunch?
I had some meat today. I finished most of it. I had some avocado and some lamb. All right, I think I'm done.
Me too.
All right, so the next thing we're
Me
going to do
too.
is we're going to, oh, I'm hot again. What is wrong with me? I'm hot and cold. I'm hot and cold. So I need you to wash out your paintbrush and make sure it's the small one again, just like we did our dots. We're going to do some more dots in the middle. Now, right, I need you to dip into your white. All right, I've got my white here. I'm going to show you my painting. Can everybody see how most of the white is right between where the waterfall hits the water? Can everybody see that? But before we do that, what I want you to do is I want you to get some white and some blue, and I want you to make a very, very light blue. A very, very, as light as you can make it. Right? A very, very light blue. I still think I need some more white. And more. All right, there's my very, very light blue. And I want you to make some lines as thinly as possible across your page. But I want you to draw some more lines just under the waterfall, right? Not to the side, just under the waterfall like this. I want you to do just dashes. Does anyone know what a dash is? With the very tip of your paintbrush. Right? Nice long lines. Some are short, some are long, but they have to be with the very tip of your paintbrush, kids. It's really important that you understand when I say the tip of your paintbrush. If you don't do it with the tip, it's going to look really thick. We don't want that. Okay, this is what I consider thick. See that? That's thick. I don't know if you can see that. Do not make it thick, make it thin. And that's when you make it thin, you use the very tip of your paintbrush, and it all has to be very horizontal. Does everyone know what horizontal means? Just under the waterfall, right? Right here. You don't want this to go everywhere. All right. Using the very tip of your paintbrush. All right. Now what I want you to do is I want you to get some blue and black, right? Some blue and black. Just a real, oh, that's too black. I might have to add a little bit more blue to that. Too black. Blue and black, and I'm going to do the same, but on the other side, right? I'm going to put a bit of blue and black. I'm going to do those lines, right, on this side, on either side, right? Just a little bit of black and blue on this side. Make sure that you put some of these lines on the horizon line as well. Yeah, because we don't want there where sometimes we forget to paint and we leave little white bits. We don't want any of those white bits in there. So just a few lines on either side. I want them to be darker on left and right, but right in the middle of the C area is going to be the highlights. Right, and there. Okay, so I've got my dark highlights. Not really highlights if they're dark, are they? So my dark sort of dashes on either side, and right in the middle are going to be my very light blues, yeah? Now, what I need you to do is wash your paintbrush out. This is the last, almost the last thing we're going to do. And we're going to put some dots, some white. Make sure you dip into your white. I only want white here, okay? And I want you to put a lot of dots right where the water meets the lake, right? This is the part that when it first hits the water, it's going to make a big splash. And so basically we've got dots everywhere. Dots, dots, dots. Make sure they're nice and round. So we don't want to press too hard. If you press too hard on your paintbrush, what's going to happen is you're not going to get round dots. You're going to get ovals or lines and blobs. So we want round dots. And we want it to be completely white. Now, as soon as you've done a little bit of that, right? As soon as you've done a little bit of that, what I want you to do is I want you to make some dots that are going up like this, but don't dip into your paints. Don't dip into your paint. Let it just run out, right? So do your dots and let it run out. So I'm going to do the same on this side. I'm going to do some, it's spitting out. See that? It's going up. It's splashing up all the way up. See what I'm doing? I've got lines going up and out. Right, and I've got some splashes going downwards as well. So just don't dip into your white all the time. Let it just run out. Okay, I'm going to do that again. Okay, we've got some splashes going up. All right. I think I might just need a little bit more splashing. You know, the splashing is going to move out. Yeah, it's like going to go like a water, like a sprinkler outwards. We're only doing dots. We are not dragging the paintbrush. And if you're pressing too hard on your paintbrush, it means you're not making dots. It means you're making rectangles or lines or ovals. All right, we want to make dots. Okay, I think I'm done with the splashing. I might just add a little bit more white in the middle because I want it to be like really foamy. All right, a little bit foamy. Now, as soon as we're finished with that, I want you to go back into your reds and your yellows and your oranges, and we're going to do a few highlights on the lake, right? So I'm going to start with my red, and I'm going to do just under where you think here. So I'm going to do some lines going across. See that? I'm going to just do some red lines moving across, like where there's no line. Remember we talked about, we did the light blue. Do not go over the light blue at all. All right, all the way across, even on this side. And then I'm going to do the same with my orange. Not going to go over, just lines. Now you can't put lines, very thin lines, if you're going to press too hard. You cannot press too hard on your paintbrush. She's got to do the very tip of it. And you might need to actually add a little bit of water just to make it a little bit runny so you can get the tip. Because I noticed that you can't really get it. You can't really draw lines across if your water's too thick, your paint is too thick. All right. And I think I'm nearly finished. I've got one more color to do, and that's going to be my yellow. And remember what we said, we are not going over any of the other colors. We are going only over the blue section. And I'm not talking about the light blue section. I'm talking about the dark blue. All right, wherever there's a space, you can just go over it with yellow. You can do some on this side as well. All right. Hey, what do you think? What do you think? I'm finished with my picture. What do you reckon, kids? I want you to please put this up on Zalo and listen to me carefully, children. When you put your name on your work, I want you to put your age as well. How old are you? 7, 8, 9, 10. How old are you? Put your name, okay? And then your age, because I want to know how old you are. I want to see your paintings and what your names are and how old you are, right? 2 things when you put it on Zalo. Does everybody understand? All right, kids, that's the end of our class. We've got 7 minutes left. I want everyone to hold up their paintings. I really want to see what you've done. Okay. Yeah, show me, Ciro. Wow, that's amazing. Good. I need everyone to put those up on Zalo. Misso, nice. Nice. I need you to put a bit more color here. I want more color here, Misso, yeah? Here in the trees. Anna, you haven't shown me your work or Sushi. That's amazing, Havy. Sushi and Anna, show me your work before we leave.
Teacher, I didn't finish the fish.
Which part
I
didn't you
haven't
finish?
even finished the
The
fish.
fish. The fish.
It's not fish, darling. These are
What is
highlights. This is highlights from the painting. These are highlights from the flowers.
Oh yeah.
It's not fish.
Sorry. I think that's the
I
fish.
haven't even finished my highlights yet.
Okay. All right. Very good. Very good.
Hey.
Yeah, show me, Anna. All
Yes.
right. Good. Now this part here, Anna, you see this part here? You
Yes.
see my little finger? I want you to make it a little bit thicker coming off the page. Make it just a little bit thicker coming off the page. Very nice, Monkey. Beautiful. I want to see more color. Where's your yellows and oranges and reds? Where are they? And here on the tree, I can't see any on the tree. Have you got any of those colors on the tree? Okay, I need to see a little bit more. And I want you to make the dots a little bit thicker. Can you see how my dots are a little bit thicker? Lots of paint. Yeah, just a little bit. All righty. Okay, kids. That's it. That's the end of our class. Anna? Oh, no, hang on. Who was it? Sushi. Sushi, I didn't see your work, darling. Show me your work. Hi, Dorothy.
Hello.
Hello.
So I think this is the final class in
Right.
the
So,
series of 5 lessons for
kids,
art
did
for
everybody
fun.
hear that?
Yeah.
This
So
is our final class. You have to wait for the next lot. Is that right, Dorothy?
um,
Sorry, Dorothy, you didn't come across at all. I didn't hear what you said.
holiday.
Oh, I can't hear you.
Ủa làm rồi hết chưa? Con ăn hết rồi, lấy xe đạp đạp đi.
Dorothy, I can't hear you. Are you still there? Cutting out. All right, kids, I'm going to take a photo. If everybody can just put their work up. Ready? All right. Dorothy, can you take a photo too? Take a photo too, please, because I don't think mine's going to work. It never does. So, Sushi.
Yeah, I could, but it's just a screenshot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sushi, take off your background, darling. I can't. Hey, Evie, hold it up a little bit, darling. Hold it up. That's it. 1, 2. Monkey, stop moving. Sushi, you need to take your background off, darling.
Yeah.
Your background. We can't see
Sushi and
anything.
Shiro. Sushi and Shiro have two blur, can't see.
All right. I want you all, who remembers the artwork that we did in these 5 weeks? Who remembers what they were? What were they? We had the lovebirds.
Yes.
We had the landscape. We had the mushrooms.
Oh yeah.
Okay, which was your favorite? What else did we do? With the panda, we did the panda as well.
First we did the birds, then we did the pandas, and then we did the
Country.
cheetah
Yes. Yes, Monkey.
and the pantry.
Show me, Monkey. Show me what we've done. Show me what we did. Yes, we did the panda. We did that one. What else did we do? Monkey's going to show us what we did. What was your favorite?
The favorite.
Yep. What was your
My
favorite?
favorite is pantry.
Which one?
My favorite is a pantry.
I didn't hear you, Miso. What was your favorite? All right, kids, that's the end of our class. I will see you next time, maybe after your school ends and we'll have some more. Is that right, Dorothy? Can't hear you, Dorothy. Can't hear you.
Oh, I said that, you know, in at the end of May or June,
Yeah.
right? School
Yes.
holiday.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
Summer
when your
holiday.
school holidays start, we'll come back to art class, okay? Make sure that you're in touch with Dorothy, and you can sign up to those classes. I had so much fun with you guys. Thank you so much for being here. That was fun, right? Did everybody have fun with the painting?
Yeah.
Good. Did you learn something?
Especially me.
Yeah, everybody too. Yeah, Anna. Oh, Monkey, your hands are very dirty. What happened to you? All right, kids. See you next time. Good luck. Make sure you put your pictures on Zello and your age.
Goodbye, teacher.
Goodbye, teacher.
Bye bye. I'm ending. Okay.
See you later, Dorothy. Bye.
Bye.
Bye, guys.